The friends backed toward the water. Liam raised his hands defensively. "We don't want trouble." One of the figures tilted its head, the motion unnervingly slow. When it spoke, its voice sounded layered, like many voices speaking from the same throat. "The Oasis is sacred." Maya took a breath. "We were lost. We didn't know." The lead figure approached, stopping only a few feet away. "Those who drink from the spring must not leave." Silence froze the air. "Not cannot. Must not." Sarah's voice trembled. "You mean forever?" "This place remains hidden because it must be protected." Liam stepped forward. "We can keep the secret. No one will ever know," Noah added quickly. Another layered voice answered. "Those who find paradise must become part of it." The escape. Fear jolted through them like current. Maya grabbed Liam's hand. Noah's eyes darted to the dunes behind the figures. Sarah subtly tightened her backpack strap. They didn't plan it out loud, but in one heartbeat they all understood. "Run," Sarah mouthed. Then she threw a rock, shattering the stillness. They bolted. The cloaked figures did not shout. They did not chase at first. They simply glided after them, silent and swift, as though floating just above the sand. The four friends scrambled through the palms and up the dunes, lungs burning, legs trembling. The moonlight glowed off the robes of the watchers like ghost fire, gaining on them without effort. Noah stumbled. Liam yanked him up. "Keep going." At the crest of a dune, they stopped because below them was a sea of shifting tracks. Not animal, not human, something else. Maya shook her head, tears starting. "We're trapped." But suddenly, wind howled. A sandstorm rose behind them like a living wall, cutting off the oasis and the watchers. The friends ducked down, clinging to each other until the storm swallowed everything. Morning. When the storm finally calmed, the oasis was gone. No valley, no palms, no water. Into the unknown. The heat was merciless. Waves of shimmering air blurred everything ahead of them. They rationed water carefully, walking for hours across a sea of dunes that felt more alive than dead, each crest whispering like shifting breath. But something began to feel wrong. At first, it was small, the sense of movement in their peripheral vision, footprints behind them that didn't match their own, the faint echo of something like a voice carried on the wind. Liam paused at the top of a dune. "Do you guys hear that?" The others listened, a faint sound like a distant chant. Then it vanished. "We keep moving," Sarah urged. "Almost there." Yet the further they went, the stronger the feeling grew, like invisible eyes tracked their every step. The oasis. Near dusk, the sands parted around a wide, bowl-shaped valley, and there, glowing with reflected moonlight, lay a breathtaking oasis. Palm trees arched over a pool of crystal blue water, as impossible and beautiful as a dream. They rushed forward, relief turning to laughter as they drank, washed their faces, and cooled their feet. But when night fully fell, the beauty of the place changed tone. The desert grew still, unnaturally still. No insects, no breeze, no sound of shifting palms. Like the world had paused to listen. Noah glanced at the shadowy perimeter of the trees. "Something doesn't feel right. Maybe it's just exhaustion," Maya whispered, rubbing her arms. Then came the whisper, low, melodic, and not human. It rippled across the water like a vibration in the air. Sarah stood slowly. "We're not alone." The watchers of the oasis. Shapes materialized beyond the torchlight of the moon. Tall, slender figures, cloaked in desert robes that glowed faintly with a silvery sheen. Their faces were hidden behind smooth masks carved from bone or stone, featureless except for a single hollow indentation where the third eye would be. Lost in the desert, full story. The sun hovered like a burning coin above the endless stretch of desert, turning the horizon into a wavering mirage. For friends, Liam, Sarah, Noah, and Maya were halfway through a spontaneous summer road trip. They planned to drive from one coast to the other, chasing sunsets and freedom, but a wrong turn had brought them down an old, unmarked road that didn't appear on any GPS. The desert around them felt ancient, untouched, and strangely watchful. As the road narrowed and eventually disappeared beneath the sand. The car sputtered and died. Noah tried restarting it, but the engine only groaned before giving up completely. "We're out of luck," he said, rubbing the back of his neck. Sarah wiped sweat from her forehead. No signal, no road, and no shade. Perfect. While the others argued about what to do, Liam wandered a few steps away. Something half buried in the sand caught his eye, a flat, rectangular object sticking out like the corner of a stone or a box. He knelt, brushed away the sand, and revealed what looked like an old leather satchel, weathered by time. Inside was a map, drawn by hand, on thick parchment that crackled when he unfolded it. Strange symbols patterned the edges, and at its center was a marking that resembled an eye surrounded by flowing lines like water. "Guys, come look at this," Liam called. The others gathered around. Maya squinted at the drawings. "Is that an oasis?" Noah frowned. "If this is old, there's no way it's still there." "Or," Sarah countered, "it's been forgotten, which means untouched." They shared a hopeful but hesitant look and then decided to follow the map.